Sid and I were going to talk World Juniors off the top of the show, but we didn't get there. There's a couple stories right now about how long this World Junior lead up will be, who's invited, 46, 47 players, and a lot of ideas that this could be like the North Dakota World Juniors, where a lot of really good players show up because of the times. One name that wasn't on the list was Alexis Lafreniere. If you're the New York Rangers, could someone tell you this is a good thing for his development? I guess I'm asking, if you're the Rangers, do you let Alexis Lafreniere go?
Well, I always let my players play in international tournaments if I could. Like, we were asked when Matthew Tkachuk made the Flames as an 18-year-old, Team USA asked for him, but he was playing like 16 minutes a night for us. Right. Like, there's no way we could let him go. He had too meaningful a role on our team. But historically, when teams have asked or governing bodies have asked for players, I've always supported them playing. I don't know when we're going to start, but the World Juniors is a really important tournament. It's a best on best. It's a huge stage. And Lafreniere has already been a star on that stage as being MVP of the tournament once. But, yeah, I would want him to go, especially I don't think we're going to be playing by the time this tournament starts.
It could be camp, though.
Yeah, for the camp, I'd let him go.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's funny you said that though, Burke, about international play. Like I was covering the Leafs back in the day when the late Pat Quinn was running things, and Leafs got bounced one year, and it was locker cleanout, and it felt like a lot of the European guys were excited to go to the Worlds, and there were a lot of other guys in that room who were a little resentful of that feeling. Like there was a giddiness. They just lost a tough series, and I asked Pat afterwards, like, what's your take on guys leaving this quickly for the World Championships? And he cited, how Todd Bertuzzi became a different player because he went to international competitions, and he cited a bunch of other people. And his last quote, I'll never forget it, was, "You'd be nuts not to go." And I'll always, and it triggered me when you said that. It's just, there's no downside unless you are that kind of player, even if it's just for camp. There is no downside. You're nuts not to go.
No, and these are the things. I remember after we won the Cup, we opened the season next year in London, England. I remember Sean O'Donnell was complaining to me, what are we doing here? We got to go back. And I was an idiot. I said, well, we're gonna play 4 games on the East Coast before we got home, and 3 of the 4 were home openers, and we lost 3 of the 4. Randy Carlyle was so mad at me. Randy was bitter at me for weeks. So, but I said to Sean, Sean, part of my job is to give you postcards that you'll look up on when you retire. You'll look back and you'll say, wasn't that a cool trip we took to England? So whenever the league asked us to go overseas, which was only a couple times, we had training camp in Stockholm once with the Canucks, and we went to London. But whenever the league asked us to participate, I'm like, absolutely. When do we leave? So to me, I was involved in about 13 or 14 international tournaments on behalf of USA Hockey, 2 Olympic Games, World Cup, and then a bunch of several world championships. And I enjoyed every one of them. And the players that went came up to me afterwards and said, this was great. Thank you. I'm so glad I came. But you'd have to push these guys. This tournament's not that big a deal in North America. And you'd have to push these guys to go, some of them.
Brian Burke joining us here on Tim and Sid. So let me ask you this then. How many people do you think like you? Like, could we get another lockout like World Junior? I don't want to do any advertising for the 3-letter here, but do you think a lot of teams will say it's okay, don't show up to camp, go to the World Juniors and get better and play for your country?
I haven't asked any other GMs, but certainly that would be what I would do. I would send them all. Anyone who's invited, go to camp and then go to the tournament if you're selected, and you can join us. It ends on January 5th, right? They're not going to be playing by January 5th, no. I don't think.